Hi, today I thought I'd take a look at Godzilla, the original Marvel Years Omnibus. This is a long time coming. I held on to my Essentials collection from, God, 10, 12, maybe more years ago. That, of course, is the Essentials collection where it was all black and white, and that's all they were able to reprint back in the day. This is, of course, is reprints of the original Godzilla Marvel comics from, I think it's like 79 to 80. It lasted 2 years. It's fairly legendary in that Godzilla fights a whole bunch of characters from the Marvel Universe at the time. Only lasted 25 issues. Herb Trimpe and Doug Minch were behind it. Pretty awesome stuff. And some villains from this comic went on to be Marvel villains in other Marvel comics for decades after this. So let's take a look at this. This is the spine. And this is the back. I love when they do all these covers here. It's so great. I love it. I wish that DC Comics would do that with their omnibuses. So as you see, Collecting Godzilla 1977, 1 to 24. Sorry, 24 issues. Written by Doug Minch and illustrated by Herb Trimpe with Tom Sutton on inks. So let's take a look at the inside. So here's the inside of the dust jacket. Godzilla strides across the Marvel Universe. Let's take a look at the actual cover, and wow, it's pretty awesome. Let's take a look at this for a second. Wow, that's wonderful. What a great hardcover. Fantastic. We'll talk about the likeness of Godzilla in a second. Let's take a look at the back dust jacket, the creators, and they talk about Herb Trimpe and Doug Minch here. Okay. Let's take a look at the inside. So this year, I'm recording this in 2024, and we've gotten the licensed Godzilla Marvel comics as an omnibus. We're getting ROM as of this recording. They have volume 2 out of both ROM Space Knight and Micronauts. Here are the credits and the table of contents. And we have Godzilla. This is a great year for licensed Marvel stuff. Pretty cool. I mean, these are omnibuses we thought we would never get, and here they are. So great. Here's an introduction by Carl Kessel, who talks about how he was never really a big fan of Godzilla, but became a fan through these comics. Pretty awesome stuff. And this is, I mean, that's why these comics exist, right? To get to get people involved that wouldn't normally be involved. Here it is. So in this wonderful coloring, due to most omnibuses, etc. So look out, America, the mightiest menace of them all is coming your way. Godzilla first issue. I love this font, this graphic, great stuff. They had made like a book and record set adaptation of one of these issues, and you can find that on YouTube somewhere. Pretty cool stuff. All right, let's talk about Godzilla. So Marvel got the rights to do a Godzilla comic, use the name, use the concept. The problem was, and as you can see, he looks more like a dragon than the actual Godzilla that you know. So here he is destroying stuff. Pretty cool. Great coloring. Wrecking stuff. Slamming this like cable down on these people. They run off. And here he's right smack into the Marvel Universe. Here's Nick Fury. Dum Dum Duggan. The original versions. Bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents with S.H.I.E.L.D. cool stuff. They're still carrying on that Kirby machine motif back then. And here Godzilla's ripping apart a plane. Pretty awesome. Dum Dum Duggan ends up heading up a whole task force to subdue Godzilla. Godzilla looks different. His eyes and his brow ridge and everything look more like a Tyrannosaurus or a dragon of some sort. As you can see, he is breathing something out. It's fire and not that blue radiation. Later on, they say that this fire has radiation in it, so that's how they got around that. Why does he look like that? Probably some sort of agreement with Toho. Godzilla issue 2. They were able to use the idea of Godzilla and maybe 20% him here. And of course the name, etc. But whenever he fights other monsters, it's monsters they have to come up with. And really they're just sort of variations on the monsters that Godzilla had already fought in the movies. When this came out after the Showa era and before the Heisei era. So the Showa era ends in 1975, I think, with Terror of Mechagodzilla. And this is like 79. So next he's going to fight the champions. This is awesome. So you see Iceman, Angel, Hercules throwing a chunk of road at Godzilla, and Black Widow being useless. I don't know why they don't have her like shooting him or something. So here comes Godzilla doing his thing, destroying bridges and things. We're going to get into Hercules in a moment because he does something awesome here. Here's Iceman doing his cartoon Iceman thing, making ice ramps, etc. Okay, so Godzilla's about to step on Angel, and Hercules tries to, rather than get Angel out of the way, he has no time for that, so he tries to stop the foot, and in so doing, he lifts and throws Godzilla. So there you have it, man. Who's stronger? Hercules threw Godzilla. How you like that? That's pretty awesome stuff. Dum Dum Dugan is still trying to deal with the Godzilla menace. He's talking to Hercules here. I don't care if you're Atlas, jerk. As far as I'm concerned, you're a civilian, and that makes you a vigilante. I love Dum Dum Dugan. So here's Iceman trying to fight Godzilla, encasing him in ice. That doesn't really work. Hercules throws a highway at Godzilla. That's pretty cool. There's a whole aircraft carrier that Godzilla downs. So next he fights something called Batragon. So they have to come up with their own monsters. So here you have it. So they had the whole Showa era under their belt. And here, this is going to be the first appearance of Dr. Demonicus. What issue is this? This is issue 4. Dr. Demonicus is a character that would live on for another 28, 29 issues throughout the decades. He fought the Avengers. I think he fought Iron Man. Pretty cool design. But he makes his first appearance in Godzilla issue 4, written by Doug Mensch. And I think penciled by Herb Trimpe. So there you have it. They created that character first, and he went on to many, many more Marvel comics. I think Marvel still owns that character. Out the Living Demon. So here they make a whole bunch of different Godzilla villains and monsters for him to fight. They're pretty neat. And the thing is, even though they did not, like, obviously that's supposed to be Mothra, right? Even though they did not have the rights to any of these other characters, they did their level best to give you that Godzilla feel. They had Godzilla fighting different monsters, different villains that want to take over the world, like the 70s Godzilla movies, aliens that unleash monsters that Godzilla has to fight, etc. Pretty cool stuff. All the while, they're throwing in the Marvel Universe, which makes it even more fun. So here's issue 6, and here is the first appearance of Red Ronin. Red Ronin's a big robot that they have fight Godzilla, and then eventually team up with Godzilla, much like Jet Jaguar and other sort of like TV shows of the 70s. Here's Red Ronin. He's going to face off with Godzilla by the end of this issue and fight him and team up with him at the end of the next issue. Red Ronin, of course, would go on to several different Marvel comics after this for decades. I think there's an official death of him in 2009 or something like that. There's the face-off. There's issue 8. So they fight a bit. And Red Ronin looks a lot like the Shogun Warriors that they had done previously, adapted from the toy line. And he's got his own like weaponry and stuff, and a shield, and you know, like and a laser sword and all this other stuff. There you go. In this issue, Godzilla destroys Las Vegas. I think it's this issue or next issue. And here he comes. He's like wrecking house here. Pretty cool stuff. Yetragar is a big, like, Sasquatch looking thing. And this one is in keeping with the 70s type style Godzilla, where he'd fight like another monster and he'd team up with a robot. Here comes Red Ronin. And they're still fighting. Issue 11. That's a great cover, eh? See, this is in keeping with the Showa, well, the later Showa era Godzilla stuff. Pretty cool stuff. And you see Red Ronin shooting stuff from his shield here. Oh, full Nelson. But then Yetragar escapes. Pretty neat. Here's like more weaponry being formed by Red Ronin. This is great stuff for back then. Godzilla was very popular in America at this time, even though the Showa era had ended, because kids were watching this stuff on TV. I know in the early to mid 80s, I was watching a lot of Godzilla on Sunday afternoon matinees on television, and that's where I got to know Godzilla. It was very, very popular. At one point, there was some sort of TV event hosted by John Belushi, where they aired Godzilla vs. Megalon, I think, with John Belushi hosting. So it was the height of camp. I think people just enjoyed that aspect of it, and kids loved it too. Here for the next 2 issues, Godzilla is in the Wild West. Well, not Wild West, it's the modern West, but he's on like some sort of range somewhere. It's like Valley of Gwangi, basically. Here's issue 17. So Godzilla begins to shrink, and they do different things with Godzilla there. Here's Dum Dum Dugan fighting Godzilla. And now he's in a cage and stuff. At one point, Godzilla fights a rat. Here you go. The rat's a little confused. This rat fight's pretty good. There's a lot of good moves and stuff going on here. And Godzilla still has his fire breath. So he defeats the rat. He comes back. Now he's slowly growing. And he frightens off muggers and stuff. He's like human-sized. Here he's going to face off with Dum Dum Dugan. He's still got his fire breath. Dum Dum Dugan has a like a garbage lid. So here the Fantastic Four arrive. You see Johnny Storm and everything. Godzilla faces off with a bunch of sharks. And here in this issue, issue 21, he's going to go back in time and fight Devil Dinosaur. A great Jack Kirby invention, now bastardized and taken out of context with modern day musings with a little girl and lots of fun campy stuff. Back then, it was Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy in like a prehistoric setting. Here's a great splash page paying homage to Jack Kirby. And Godzilla like lifts and throws another dinosaur. There's Moon Boy. So Godzilla comes back to the present. Here's Jaws 2 being shown back then. And he fights the Avengers for the remainder of the series. Pretty awesome stuff. The Avengers team up with Fantastic Four. Here in these 2 pages, you get to see J. Jonah Jameson versus Godzilla. Or Godzilla versus J. Jonah Jameson, whichever one you want. Here it says, like he's complaining at this at Godzilla. Where's Peter Parker? Watch it, you overgrown lizard. You're messing with J. Jonah Jameson here. He's like, uh-oh. Godzilla doesn't fry him. He's just like so disdainful of this chattering insect as Godzilla that he does not bother to use his flaming breath on it, but makes his sentiments known much like J. Jonah Jameson himself with a blast of hot air. So there you go. So here are the Avengers figuring out what to do. Johnny Storm comes in, we gotta fight Godzilla. So they're all flying out there to meet Godzilla. Dum Dum Dugan feels like he has this covered, but he doesn't. And here Godzilla just like roasts everybody with his flaming breath. You've got here, I guess, Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Thor, and Johnny Storm here, Human Torch. And here you've got Yellow Jacket and Wasp inside his inner ear and makes him fall off balance. That's pretty cool. Here's the last issue. And you've got Thor trying to figure out what to do. He seems to be the leader here in this era. And Dum Dum Dugan's like, he's still trying to get a hold of the situation, control of it. And here you see Godzilla looking at the Empire State Building. Great splash page here. Godzilla destroying stuff and like these Marvel heroes trying to thwart him. See Thing back here with a gun. Anyway, and of course there's always a dude that's like, don't hurt Godzilla. He picks up this guy. And then he's walking off. At this point, Spider-Man appears and does nothing. It's like, he's like, oh, I'm late to this party or whatever. So that's it. These 3 panels represent Spider-Man's interaction with Godzilla. Spider-Man didn't even do nothing. So here he walks off, and that's it for the comic. Here's a page that appeared in the original first issue. Welcome to the first issue of Godzilla. This is like, you know, introducing the lighter page and everything. There you have it. That is the Godzilla, the original Marvel Years Omnibus, finally out in blazing color. Pretty awesome stuff. If you like this, please give a like to this video. And please subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of comic book stuff and pop culture things. Take a look and please consider subscribing. Until next time, take care.